Hey guys, this is Collins from Afrodust RC, the #1 RC channel in Africa, and I'm here to talk about safety. Let's get into it. This is not a public service announcement, it's just a safety tip. A lot of times you've seen me, the bike is still there. A lot of times you've seen me posting about building RC cars or modifying them and doing all these other things. But the main thing with RC cars, a lot of people confuse them with kids' toys. When you're thinking of getting into the RC hobby, or you're thinking of buying your son or daughter an RC car, there are a couple of things that you have to consider. It's a powerful car. Majority of the RC cars go up to 60 kilometers per hour. So basically this is like a projectile heading towards you. And if you give a child who's inexperienced the car, they can end up even breaking their leg.
Ooh. You alright? Gentry. Hey. You lost a shoe. Your legs are okay though. Alright, bud?
No.
Are you okay?
Check my legs.
Dude, your legs are fine.
No, they fucking hurt.
I know they hurt, but they're straight.
You have to be very mindful. You yourself, you have to know how to drive. And then from you learning how to drive, you have to teach your child how to drive it. It's like a car, you have to have control over it. Otherwise you can injure yourself or you can injure other people. So second and final tip, we're going to talk about charging and batteries. Most of the RC cars, because they're powerful, they require batteries. And normally they don't use the standard AA batteries. So normally what they use is, we call them you either have LiPo batteries or you have lithium batteries or NIM.
Yeah?
Yeah, NIM. So you either have LiPo batteries, but majority of them come with LiPo batteries. Now the thing with this if it explodes is like a mini bomb. So you have to be very careful with it. So when you're going to buy your RC car, you're presented with a battery like this, your RC car, different things to charge. But the problem with the manufacturer's charging kit that you're given at the beginning, it's not balanced. These batteries, LiPo batteries, love to be charged in a balanced way. So you have to, from cell to cell, because either they are 2 cell, 3 cell or 4 cell, depending on the battery that you get and the amount of power. So it will be indicated. But I'm not here to talk about the battery itself. I'm here to talk about how to charge it and what you need to charge it. So for charging RC batteries, you will need it's like a balanced charger. This balanced charger, I've had it for a long time, and it's one of the oldest in the market, or it has been there for long. So if I see it, I identify from it. But nowadays there are different varieties. You can even get a balanced charger that you can connect to your computer, and it gives you the data about each cell and how you need to charge it. So it gives you the duration and what you need to do. When you're charging them, you don't do fast charging, you do balanced charging. And balanced charging will take about an hour to charge a battery like this, whether lithium or LiPo. And once it's done, it's going to give you an indication that it has already charged it. You have to have a safe bag. And in this safe bag, it's fireproof. So what happens is, either you put this, I use this mainly for traveling, but for charging I can use a LiPo guard. So what happens is, you take your battery, let's say for example, let's take this out, and I say today I want to charge my LiPo battery. So what I'll do is I'll connect whatever I want to charge. Then, because this also goes in here, so you have to put it in there. So what I'll do is I will take my battery and place it in there. And then once I've placed it in there, I can either put it, mainly I normally charge, I like to charge outside or in the basement or somewhere where there's open space. So just in case something happens, then I have an advantage, I have some safety. So once I put that in and I've connected everything that needs to be charged, and then what I'm going to do is I'll double check the battery is okay, the connections are okay, you have to check whether it's red and red or black and black. If you mix them up, it's going to be a problem. So all these things have to be checked before you charge them. Then once you've done that, you look at your connections, everything is okay. So you will come and you say, I want to charge my battery. So I will say the battery is LiPo, and then I'll choose balance charging. So balance charging 2.5A, 7.4 volts. So I check that is okay. That is okay. And then I'll press in continuously. It will check the battery and say everything is fine. Now you can press enter to start. And there you go. It has started. Okay, cool. So now we have everything. Now we have everything. For example, now the battery that I put had already been charged. And now, well, once I've charged it, I put it inside the LiPo bag. And inside the LiPo bag, both of them are fireproof. So it prevents the smoke from coming out and also prevents the fire from spreading. I would advise you not to charge it indoors, but rather look for a place outside on a corridor or something to charge the RC battery. And if you're charging indoors, you have to be there, so that just in case if something happens, you're where you're looking out. As we said, you're charging balance charging. If you're storing the batteries long term, then you have to remove the battery's energy. You don't charge, but you discharge the battery and take out all the energy, so that when you store them away, nothing happens. And the same, if you're traveling, you have to discharge the batteries. You have to empty the batteries of its energy. And this balance charger does the same. It can charge and it can discharge the power in the battery. And the good thing about it is that you can be able to monitor it, and it will give you a signal just in case it's full. Then it will blink, it will beep. And once it beeps, you can come and take it off. And all the time, always charge balance charged. If you get a charger from a USB charging device for batteries like this, you have to be very careful, because most of the fires happen when you do that. And if you're a parent and you're buying your child RC car, you really have to monitor how they charge the batteries, or you have to take control of charging the batteries yourself. That being said, so for me, that's my setup. I usually like to come outside here, set up everything, have my LiPo bags, do a balance charge, and once I've done a balance charge, whatever I have charged, I put it inside here. Now, when you're traveling with your RC cars, or if you're traveling with a drone, you have to carry your batteries in your hand luggage. You don't carry them in the suitcase. I know it looks scary like this to carry something like this in your hand luggage, but you'll get used to it. The first time you freak out, but they know, they are aware. A lot of people travel with drones, a lot of people travel with RC cars. All you have to do is keep it safe in a LiPo bag, and then make them aware from the check-in. I have some batteries and I'm traveling with them. When you're about to check in, you also tell them I have some batteries. You open them up and you show them, and maybe take a photo of your RC car or your drone, just to, hey, here it is, this is my RC car, I removed the battery, this is the battery, and I'm going here and here. I've been invited for a certain event, so I'm carrying them. Always have your data together so that you cannot get into any trouble. If you're using a lot of batteries, then I would advise you to pay a little bit more, get rechargeable batteries, and then you can use them over the years. Like this, I've had them for almost 2 years. They still work. See how old that is? Still works. So if you're using batteries like this and you want to dispose of them, then you have to be very careful how you dispose of them. Nowadays they have days, like in Japan, they have days where they come and collect things like batteries. But the same, if you want to dispose a battery like this, you have to empty it. So you discharge of it, make sure it doesn't have current, and maybe even take note and write what the current, what the charge level is. If you have one like this, it will definitely tell you. Then you can dispose of it. That being said, that was all. That was a public service announcement, and I see you in the next episode. Remember to subscribe. Remember to hit the like button, and thank you. And have a good weekend.